Here is the world news from our studio BGI TV, Baba Agbagede Imo TV. First are the major headlines, but before that, my name is Morire Rabila Lawal. Nigeria would have collapsed if not for Buhari, says Ayade. Murdered OAU student Timothy Adegoke to be buried on Saturday, Oriyomi Amzat. Kanu, Buhari should prove he respects court's judgment, explore political solutions, lawyer. APC chairmanship, don't elect EFCC, indicted ex-governors, group ones. Court orders FG to pay Nnamdi Kanu 1 billion naira, recommends political solution. Businessman sentenced to life imprisonment for forcefully having sex, impregnating in-law. 3 traffic robbers arrested in Agege, Lagos. How I battled sickle cell, wrote most exams in hospital bed, Unilag first-class graduate. And to foreign, 2021 among 7 hottest years on record, UN. And sports, Guinea-Bissau versus Nigeria, 6 facts to know as Wild Dogs target first win against Super Eagles. The news in details. Governor Ben Ayade of Cross River State has lauded President Muhammadu Buhari's effort at addressing insecurity in Nigeria, saying the country would have collapsed if not for his drive. The governor said this on Channels Television Sunrise Daily on Wednesday, explaining that the president's military background helped in making that possible. According to him, there was an international conspiracy against the country, particularly the northern regions. Perhaps if it was not Buhari's administration with his military background, the country would have collapsed at this stage, he added. People don't know that because if you are being able to avoid risk, nobody can see it because it was avoided. I think the situation could have been worse either. He noted that apart from addressing the insecurity, the present government is also repositioning the economy, adding that there have been moves to tap into other resources and sources of revenue. The governor will thank the People's Democratic Party (PDP) for his time with the main opposition party, however called on them to advise the government when necessary. Nigerians, he said, should look beyond party lines and put the nation first in whatever they do. I would not want to speak on party lines because party lines is what has kept this country backward. We should think like a country. We should think like a nation, the former PDP member noted. There is nothing wrong with a PDP government, the PDP people making inputs to bring value. Although investigation into the alleged killing of a postgraduate student of the Obafemi Awolowo University in Ife, Timothy Adegoke, his burial has been slated for Saturday. The former banker initially buried in a shallow grave after he was allegedly killed in Hilton Hotel in the ancient city where he had lodged. His corpse was exhumed for autopsy following the arrest of the hotel owner, Rahman Adedoyin, and some of his staff. They have since been in detention. Popular media man Oriyomi Amzat, who has aggressively been on the case, noted on Tuesday that the police had decided to release Adegoke's corpse to his family in Arua, where it will be interred on Saturday. There is concern that the corpse should not be released yet since the investigation is still ongoing, but the police have assured us that since the autopsy has been concluded, there is no point holding on to the body, Amzat said. He said there were areas but that he trusted the police big boss on top of the matter today they sue. The President, Major General Muhammadu Buhari retired, should have proved he respects the judiciary by exploring political solutions to resolve the detention of the embattled leader of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu. Kanu's special counsel, Aloy Ejimako, stated this in the chat with a Punch on Wednesday while reacting to the judgment of the High Court in Abia State, which ordered the federal government to pay the sum of 1 billion naira to the IPOB leader and issue a letter of apology to him. The Punch had also reported that Kanu approached the court demanding 5 billion naira over the invasion of his father's house by the military on September 10, 2017. Justice Benson Aya on Wednesday stated that the federal government violated Kanu's fundamental rights. The judge also recommended political solution to solve Kanu's detention and agitation. Speaking after the court pronouncement, Ejimako said the president should obey the court's decision on exploring political solution and proved that he indeed regards the judiciary, as he said in an interview on January 5th, 2022. The lawyer said, "I am pleased with the judgment, especially as it diminishes the vested notion that Nnamdi Kanu jumped bail in 2017. The directive by the judge to the federal government to pursue the path of political solution with Kanu is also in good order. Going forward, I see the judgment having significant impact on the Abuja case. I have no doubt that the federal government will implement the judgment. My confidence comes from the recent pronouncements from the president that he will respect whatever the judiciary decides in matter of Nnamdi Kanu." Ahead of the National Convention of the All Progressive Congress slated for February 26 in Abuja, a South-South Emerging Leaders Forum has warned party leaders to avoid electing some former governors and individuals in the race who have been indicted for financial crimes by the anti-graft agencies. National Coordinator of SELF, Pray Wilson, disclosed this in a statement he signed on Wednesday in Abuja. Wilson warned that the APC does not need a national chairman who will be dragged in and out of the anti-corruption agencies' offices to explain their past dealings. He added that past experiences should no longer be the prime criteria for electing party leaders. Citing a Punch report titled "APC Faces Integrity Test, 5 Chairmanship Aspirants on EFCC Radar," the South-South Forum warned that if any of these allegedly indicted chairmanship aspirants is elected as a national chairman, the party will be easily blackmailed by the opposition parties and other critics. The Punch reports argued that the President, Major General Muhammadu Buhari, retired, who claims the fight against corruption is the cornerstone of his regime, has constantly frowned against corrupt persons taking up leadership positions. With some of the aspirants still battling cases at the Economic and Financial Crime Commission, will the President, as the party's leader and the APC hierarchy, be willing to look the other way, or will they insist that anyone is free to contest? A high court in Abia State has ordered the federal government to pay the sum of 1 billion naira to the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, and issue a letter of apology to him. Kanu had approached the court demanding 5 billion naira over the invasion of his father's house by military on September 10, 2017. In a ruling on Wednesday, according to his lawyer, Aloy Ejimako, the court presided over Justice Benson Aya stated that the federal government violated the IPOB's leaders' fundamental right. The court also recommended political solution to the agitation for the restoration of the defunct Biafra Republic championed by IPOB. Kanu's lawyer made this known in a tweet saying, "Mazi Nnamdi Kanu wins as Abia High Court rules that the federal government violated his fundamental right, orders the federal government to pay 1 billion naira to him and issue a letter of apology to him as well." Still to come on world news, a 38-year-old businessman, Ofure Siakere, was on Wednesday sentenced to life imprisonment by an Ikeja Domestic Violence and Sexual Offences Court for doing what is also seen as a sin and impregnating his 14-year-old in-law named withheld. The news agency of Nigeria report that Justice Abiola Sholadoye sentenced Sickle after finding him guilty of a charge of defilement contrary to Section 137 of the Criminal Law of Lagos State 2015. Delivering judgment, Sholadoye said the prosecution had proved every ingredient for the offense of defilement. She described the prosecution witnesses as compelling and convincing. She said, "This is contrary to that of the defense, which was rather shallow and full of fallacy. The evidence of the defense witness were merely self-serving." The judge admonished parents to stop sending their children to stay with relatives and advised that they should plan their families by giving birth to the number of children they can afford. The defendant maltreated the victim, his wife's niece, by doing what is unlawful. The conduct and conduct of this so-called in-law is awful and demeaning, whereas the defendant's humanity and moral compass. This case is a reflection of sexual lawlessness that occurs within the family circle. More to come. The 3 robbery suspects were arrested on Tuesday night in Agege area of Lagos State, the Lagos Rapid Response Squad has said. The suspect had attacked a pedestrian, Yusuf Ahmed, smashed a bottle on his head and dispossessed him of 100,000 naira, 3 mobile phones and a wristwatch. The suspect, Ridwan Imran, 20, Lukman Abiodun 18, and Abdullahi Isa 18 were reported to have approached their victim and demanded a raise before eventually chasing him and robbing him of his belongings. The suspect by Lukman Abiodun in the company of 4 others, some of them still at large, had approached the complainant at about 9 p.m. and the victim had explained that he had no money. The suspect aroused and chased him to Agege Stadium, smashed a bottle on his head, pushed him aside into the drainage, and dispossessed him of 100,000 naira, 3 mobile phones, and a wristwatch, all estimated at over 600,000 naira. The squad said in a statement titled RRS Arrest 3 in Agege for robbery. The statement read in part the Commander Rapid Response Squad CSP Olayinka Egbayemi, who intercepted a distress call from the area about traffic robbery, directed the core team to scene, where 3 of the principal suspects were chased and arrested while others escaped. Preliminary investigations by the team resulted in the recovery of one of the victims' 3 mobile phones from where it was hidden. A female first-class graduate from the University of Lagos has relieved how she battled sickle cell and worked with AIDS during her years in the hospital. In a lengthy Twitter tweet on Wednesday, the fresh graduate, via a handle at joy_fro, documented her travails while at school, revealing that she wrote her exams in the hospital bed and even had to change her course. She wrote, "Entering Unilag with 6 legs and graduating with smart 2 legs will forever be a testimony to me and my family. I got admission into Unilag when I had a sickle cell complication, a vascular necrosis of the hip bone. My doctor said I could never walk on my own until I have a hip replacement surgery on both hips. Hence, they moved me from using crutches to using a walking frame. Throughout my 100 level, I would walk to class and lab practicals with the walking frame, in pain and in shame. I can't even take a cab because the frame was heavy and the cabman didn't have the patience to wait for the process of folding it. It took a toll on me socially, mentally, and physically. Other students would stare at me on the road, some got close to offer help, and even became friends in the long run. Some just stared and walked past. It was a struggle. Battling with sickle cell and having to study in Unilag was an extreme sport. The constant stress had a huge effect on my health. It was so bad that I had to change my course of study in my second year to a less stressful one." Moving gradually to the next story concerning the world story. It's the foreign story. The past 7 years have been the hottest on record. The United Nations confirmed Wednesday, adding that 2021 temperatures remain the highest despite the cooling effect of the La Nina weather phenomenon. The warmest 7 years have all been since 2015, the UN's World Meteorological Organization said in a statement. And despite the fact that 2 consecutive La Nina events captured global attention for large portions of the year, 2021 still ranked among the 7 warmest years on record, the WMO said. Back-to-back La Nina events mean that 2021 warming was relatively less pronounced compared to recent years. Even so, 2021 was still warmer than previous years influenced by La Nina, WMO chief Petri Telat said in a statement. This, he said, shows that the overall long-term warming as a result of greenhouse gas increase is now far larger than the year-to-year variability in global average temperatures caused by naturally occurring climate drivers. La Nina refers to the large-scale cooling of surface temperatures in the central and eastern equatorial Pacific Ocean, with widespread impact on weather around the world. And now, sports story. Wild Dogs of Guinea-Bissau are hiding their last hope when they lock arms with already qualified and top of the group Nigeria on Wednesday in Garoua at 8 p.m. Although they came to the tournament with many absences and technical changes, Nigeria's Super Eagles established themselves as one of the favorites with an outstanding performance in their first 2 matches. A convincing victory over Egypt, followed by another against Sudan, ensured the Super Eagles qualified as the top of the group regardless of the outcome of Wednesday's match. This will be the first encounter between Guinea-Bissau and Nigeria at the Africa Cup of Nations. Guinea-Bissau remain winless in their last 8 matches in the Africa Cup of Nations. Only Benin 14, Mozambique 12, and Namibia 9 have played more games in the tournament without even picking up a point. Nigeria have won 11 of the last 13 Africa Cup of Nations matches. L2, including both in this year's tournament so far. The last won each of their opening 3 matches of an edition back in 2006. Guinea-Bissau are yet to score in this year's Africa Cup of Nations despite attempting 16 shots with an XG total of 2.1 in their 2 matches so far. Overall, they have failed to score in the last 6 Africa Cup of Nations matches. No nation has ever gone 7 straight games without a goal in the competition history. That was the world news from BGI TV, but before we go, a quick recap of the headlines once again. Nigeria would have collapsed if not for Buhari, says Ayade. We also brought to you murdered OAU student Timothy Adeoke to be buried on Saturday, Oriyomi Hamzat. Buhari should prove he respects court judgments, explore political solutions, lawyer. APC chairmanship, don't elect EFCC indicted ex-governors, group warns. We also brought to you court orders FG to pay Nnamdi Kanu 1 billion naira, recommends political solution. Businessman sentenced to life imprisonment for forcefully doing the unruly behavior, impregnating in-law as well. Traffic, 3 robbers arrested in Agege, Lagos. How I battled sickle cell, wrote most exam in hospital bed. Unilag first class graduates. And to foreign 2021 among 7 hottest years on record, UN. And lastly, sport. Guinea-Bissau versus Nigeria. 6 facts to know as Wild Dogs target first win against Super Eagles. You can watch more of our broadcasts on YouTube. Baba Bagede Imo TV. Kindly subscribe and click on the notification bell for updates. On Facebook, Bagede Imo with Alawiye Adebayo. Please like and follow the page. On Instagram, Bagede Imo _22. For advertisement of your goods and services, coverage of event and function. The phone number streaming on your screen as the number to call for advertisement. Thank you for watching. I am yours faithfully, Morire Rebila Lawal.